Hi, I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks for watching us tonight. Hillary Clinton, terror warrior. That is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. It was good to see the Wall Street Journal editorialize today that the only way to stop ISIS committing mass murder in the future is to confront them at their source in Syria, Iraq, and now Libya. Talking Points said that last night, and it has been a major theme of this program for years. Unfortunately, most Western leaders are afraid to do that, pointing to the debacle in Iraq and the tremendous problems in Afghanistan as a reason to avoid meaningful confrontation with Islamic killers. But if we do not attack the savages, the world will continue to absorb violent terror incidents. They will never stop. Enter Hillary Clinton, who might become president. Today at Stanford University, she spoke about the ISIS threat.
On 9/11, NATO treated an attack against one as an attack against all. On September 12th, headlines across Europe, most notably in Le Monde, proclaimed we are all Americans. Now it's our turn to stand with Europe.
Well, what does that mean? Stand with Europe? We analyzed Mrs. Clinton's speech today and can find no concrete action she is proposing to defeat the ISIS savages. Nothing. Instead, she used her platform to attack Republicans.
It would also be a serious mistake to begin carpet bombing populated areas into oblivion. Proposing that doesn't make you sound tough. It makes you sound like you're in over your head. Slogans aren't a strategy.
On that, Hillary Clinton and I agree. Slogans are no strategy. But again, what is her strategy to stop the terror killings plaguing the world? What is it? If Talking Points hears about alliances one more time, cardiac arrest may follow. Let's stop the BS. People are dying. Innocent people. ISIS is like the Black Plague, marching through Europe, killing at random. There's a report today that 400 terrorists have been dispatched by ISIS to cause damage in Europe. The solution to defeating Islamic terrorism lies in brute force, not dumb suggestions that the Kurds handle the whole thing. That kind of blather. America needs a strong leader who will sit down with the smartest military people and map out a clear fighting plan. Then NATO needs to declare war on the ISIS group. Then every Muslim nation in the world needs to be asked to pledge troops to help NATO fight ISIS. No more dithering, no more sloganeering. Because, and mark my words here, a weapon of mass destruction will be used by the ISIS savages. It is just a matter of time. And that's a memo. Now for the top story tonight, reaction. Joining us here in New York City, the former mayor of New York, Rudi Giuliani. I don't think any of the presidential contenders have a clear vision to take this ISIS group out. Do you?
She's got the least. I mean,
well, Bernie Sanders, he's got the least.
I don't consider Bernie Sanders.
Okay, but he's still a contender.
For her to say that, you know, they stood with us the day after September 11, and we should stand with them. Well, her president was sitting at a baseball game, doing the wave and laughing, instead of trying to rally the West against ISIS on the day that this killing took place. What he did yesterday embarrassed me as an American.
I wasn't surprised because he feels that this terror stuff is just a matter of business. It's just the way the world is now. We're going to have it every month or so. We're going to have it. And then he felt that his détente with Cuba was important enough for him to go through it. I know exactly what he was thinking, but I understand what you were thinking because you were in charge in New York City when 3,000 people were killed.
If you're talking about doing what she wants to do, which is to rally our forces against ISIS, you got to come back to the White House. You got to sit in the Situation Room. And you can't leave until you come out with a plan.
Well, he doesn't want to do that. Barack Obama doesn't want to rally anybody.
Well, she had her chance to do it. She helped create ISIS. I mean, Hillary Clinton could be considered a founding member of ISIS.
How did she help? Because we have a guy, an expert coming on about ISIS. How did she help ISIS?
By being part of an administration that withdrew from Iraq. By being part of an administration that let Maliki run Iraq
into the ground.
Into the ground. So you forced the Shiites to make a choice. By not intervening in Syria at the proper time. By being part of an administration that drew 12 lines in the sand
and didn't do anything. But remember, and I want to be fair to Hillary Clinton, as Secretary of State, she could not force Barack Obama to do anything. The only thing she could have done was resign.
Yeah.
That's it.
Which is what a patriot does.
Okay. But let's go forward now. So Bernie Sanders, nothing. Hillary Clinton, I didn't hear anything today. Donald Trump, general, I'm going to get him. I'm going to put a hurt on him.
Okay.
Ted Cruz on this program backed away from the carpet bombing a little bit. He said wouldn't do it in population centers. He just wants to bring more intensive air in. Right. And he would support a NATO declaration of war. And John Kasich, I'm not sure. I have to be fair to the governor. I mean, I haven't heard him be a terror warrior.
Right. I think Trump and Cruz probably have been the most specific on it. As specific as you would expect at this level of the campaign. There's no question they'll take the war to ISIS. Exactly how they do it, they probably don't know yet until they get in there.
I think that's fair. They don't know.
And there's no, I have no doubt, and you know I prefer Trump over Cruz, but I have no doubt that either Trump or Cruz, if that had happened, would have been angry and shocked. As opposed to
why would you be shocked though? Because it's happened so often. I ran it down last night. It's every month. Every month you get this.
Because the president should be shocked because the president thinks he's defeated ISIS.
No,
so when he sees something
like that,
yes, he does. He thinks now he thinks that ISIS is under control, under a reasonable degree of control,
contained. He's willing.
Not.
Of course, but you gotta look into his mind if you want to solve the problem.
If he believes it's contained.
Yes. This is collateral damage, what happened yesterday in Brussels. This is the world we live in, the brave new world. You're always going to have it. And he says we have to live with it.
If he considers it contained, let's assume he does. And now all of a sudden you get an attack in Brussels, which proportionately is like the September 11 attack when you consider the population of Belgium. Then he should be shocked. Because it should say to him, my strategy is wrong.
He's not shocked. Again, there is an element, and it's not just Democrats, it's Republicans too, that are willing to accept these terror attacks, are willing to accept them, all right, as the new age we live in. They don't get angry, they don't get emotional, they don't try to sit down and find out how we can destroy these people. They want to, well, we'll arrest the guys who did it. You know, we'll arrest them.
Well, this is why we need a leader.
Right. Well, we haven't had a strong leader in this area.
The Civil War was unpopular after 3 years. Lincoln didn't pull out. Roosevelt had to coax us into the Second World War, and Ronald Reagan had to spend money on the military, which was very unpopular, in order to defeat the Soviet Union.
We need
that makes a great president.
Now, I expect you to endorse Trump anymore.